Welcome to Mindfulness Lists. Identification with the Body is the name of the next section of A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. It seems like in recent times, identification with the body has gotten out of control. Men and women identify with their looks. I guess it's from everybody just wanting to look as best as possible, which is okay. But identifying with your body, it's identifying with all things. They lead to pain and suffering. Since all things are temporary, you can't find lasting happiness in these fleeting things. It seems like women, more so than men, you look on magazines and in movies and stuff, and there's a lot of pretty women. I have a daughter, and I watch her, and she watches videos and all the things that kids do, videos, TV, movies. And she sees these beautiful women and she wants to emulate them. And I think that's fine. I think beauty is great. I think it is a wonderful thing to want to look good. I think everybody should want to look good. It's a great thing to beautify yourself, to keep yourself in good shape, to wear makeup, whatever it is, to wear nice clothes. I think that's a wonderful thing. But when your beauty or strength starts to diminish as you get older, or if something happens, maybe you get in an accident or something, or disfigured, I don't know. Does that make you less of a person? Definitely not. If anything, I think it's the other way around. I think that people that are very beautiful, sometimes people like that, I call it the ticket to ride syndrome. They can rely on their looks. They probably just have to smile and they could get what they want from a lot of people because they're so attractive. And subsequently, they don't develop their personalities. They're kind of shallow because everything is given to them on a silver platter. So I think that's very detrimental to people's personalities. You know, they don't develop their social skills because they really don't have to have anything. All they have to do is smile. But it's a trip. I think women are more caught up in that because I guess these roles are getting broken down. It seems like there's a lot more equality in this world than the way things used to be. I think the way things used to be is women were known for beauty, and you could tell this by looking at magazines and media. And a lot of times you see on there, you look at a commercial and you see some guy, he looks like kind of a cool guy, and he's drinking Pepsi Cola, and because he drinks Pepsi Cola, he has a hot looking girlfriend, and that just seems to be the way things are in the eyes of the media. Beautiful women advertising things, a lot of commercials, stuff like that, movies. And men being known for what they can produce. Men in the past were possibly known as the providers, which is quickly disappearing in my opinion. I know a lot of women that are the breadwinners nowadays, and it should be equal. People should be paid for how proficient they are in their jobs. It should be nothing to do with sex or race or anything like that. But it's strange. We derive a sense of identity from our bodies, whether we're strong or we're weak, or what color we are, what race we are, what sex we are. And the ego doesn't care. It just wants an identity, no matter what it is. It just wants to cling to something, whether it's good or bad, so it works the other way around. Some people cling to youth. Other people say, oh, I'm just an old man. What are you doing? Or I'm a sick person. It doesn't matter whether it's a good, considered good in general or bad in general. The ego does not care. It just wants an identity. In my personal experience, I think from what I've heard, when you get close to death or when you lose certain abilities, you start to realize that all of that is just a facade, because as things get stripped away, if you are present enough, you realize that you're more than that. It happened to me. I've been involved in yoga for about 20 years, and maybe in the middle of those 20 years, about 10 years after I was 10 years into my yoga practice, I got hurt. I was trying to do something that I shouldn't have been trying to do, and I got hurt. It's instantaneous. If you do yoga or any other stuff that you could be injured in, action sports or any stuff like that, you got to be so careful. It's just not worth it. There is nothing to gain. Maybe if you're a kid and you have a chance of making a career out of it, that's one thing. But if you're not, you shouldn't mess around with hurting your body. Your body will never be the same after you get hurt, and there's nothing to gain, nothing at all. It's just, I was showing off. I was, probably trying to impress people, probably trying to impress my friends at the yoga studio. And it just happened in a split second. I saw a woman do this move and I tried to do it. And luckily it wasn't that bad. It maybe took me about 6 months to a year to get back to where I was, but just within less than a second, it happened. And so what happened to me was I was very involved in yoga, and yoga has been such a big part of my life. It really pulled me out of a rut. I don't know. I'm just I have a compulsive, addictive personality, and I choose to get addicted to health type things nowadays. I got into yoga really heavy, man. And so when I got hurt, make a long story short, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was going to yoga all the time. I'd been going for years on end, every single day. And I ended up getting into meditation. And what I found out was I could go a lot farther. I could go places that I could never go with my body, with my mind. And who knows, maybe that'll be taken away someday as well. Who knows, I could get Alzheimer's or go crazy, although I'm already crazy, so I don't really worry about that. But the point is that we have these identities and they're easily taken away. And when something does get taken away, you have the choice either just to surrender to what is, which is we are none of these things that we are aware of. Anything that you are aware of is not you. Anything that you could hear, you're aware that you're hearing something, it's not you, obviously. You can smell something, you're smelling it, it's not you. You can think something, you're not your thoughts. You can identify with your body, you're not your body. You're aware of your body. And the thing that is really important about the body, though, identification with the body, not identification, I should say awareness of the body, is the heart, is feeling to your heart center. And that's probably the main place where you can make progress in your life, is keeping your heart open. You just go straight to that feeling. I've talked about it many times before. And if your heart is open, you can make progress, or you could be at peace. And if your heart is closed, there is that saying, if the shutters are closed, the light can't come in. If your heart is closed, the light is not coming in, and you're cut off from the energy of life. You got to keep your heart open. But that's identification with the body. We're constantly changing, and we're no more or no less. When we're little kids, we start off and we need help from our parents. And probably when we die, we're going to need help from nurses, or maybe our children, or doctors, or whoever is gracious enough to help us. So it's like most other things. Anything that you identify with, it's a one-way ticket to suffering, to try to find yourself in all these things. You will only get lost. You will only get lost. There's only one place to find yourself, and that's being aware that you are the awareness, and constantly keeping your heart open.
Eventually, time is an angel or devil, best friend or worst enemy. Great joy